Today I want to discuss foreclosures. Foreclosures in the city of Chicago have reached an all-time high. In fiscal 2010, there were more than 50,000 foreclosure cases filed with the Circuit Court of Cook County, of which about 38,000 foreclosures were for the city of Chicago alone. With the numbers being published by various sources, we find that the city of Chicago, in its 228 square miles of within city limits, has lost, the homeowners have lost, close to $220 billion in homeowner equity. Foreclosures, as we all know, is an ongoing epidemic going on, a financial crisis that no one seems to be talking about, but it concerns both you and me, our families, for the following reasons. Whenever there is a foreclosure in your community, in your block, that property will soon be vacant. That property will not be maintained. That property will bring down the property values of your home even more. Nobody wants to see a property boarded up. Nobody wants to live next to a property that is boarded up and abandoned. What happens when we have a foreclosure? Well, the persons or the family that used to occupy the property, that used to own the property, are either moved out, or if they have no other resources, they become homeless. When a property is not kept up, the values of the property next to it go down. The ability to sell the house that is right next to a foreclosure to a board up diminish. I personally have experienced foreclosure. In 2010, 2009, my mother, my sister, my nephew, several neighbors, my daughter's mother, and my daughter's grandmother, they all experienced foreclosure, to the point where the property was eventually lost to the bank. The scam with the loan modification going on is what it is. It's a scam. All the big rich lenders, they received a lot of money in government bailouts to help the families going through foreclosure. And what did they do? Instead of using the money to help American families deal with the financial crisis, they use the funds to buy other banks and to make other business transactions. Less than 1% of all loan modifications are actually approved. And I know this for a fact because, as I said, many of my family members and neighbors and friends have experienced foreclosure in the last 2 and 3 years. And I know that the banks are not doing their best. In one particular case, they lost my client's file, one of my relatives' files, 3 times. 3 times they lost the entire file, dragging on at the same time with the legal proceedings. So by the time anything, if anything, was ever reached or resolved, the property had already gone through foreclosure. So it's not difficult to come to the conclusion that the banks are not cooperating. The banks are using money, taxpayer money, to help themselves, and the American family, the Chicagoan, going through foreclosure is not getting any help. Not getting any help from the city, from City Hall, from the county, from the state. There should be some action taken by our legislators witnessing what is going on. Our state attorney, Lisa Madigan's office, filed a lawsuit along with other state attorneys of other states within the union to deal with this racketeering going on, where the lenders are taking over so many of the properties, and the quality of life is diminishing here and everywhere, because abandoned properties bring only crime, a higher index of crime. They lose property value. The owners of the properties next to these foreclosures, they also lose property value. Between 2008 and 2010, close to $220 billion have been lost in homeowner equity through foreclosure. From 2008 to 2011, there's really no help available out there for the homeowner that is going through financial difficulties to help and assist with the foreclosure process. I can't believe that the banks will decide to foreclose on somebody just to resell the property again back on the market for 10 and 20 cents on the dollar, instead of working out the loan modifications, which less than 1% of all modifications requested are actually being approved. As candidate for the office of mayor of the city of Chicago, I make this pledge to you, the homeowner, the Chicago citizen, who knows a homeowner that is going through foreclosure, that I would immediately sign an executive order demanding that the banks cooperate, that the banks respect the agreements that they put forth. We will put in place a system that will assist homeowners in making sure that they get their loan modifications approved. There's no reason why a bank should foreclose on somebody and turning that family homeless. There's no reason why they should punish the rest of the neighborhood by boarding out properties. And there's no reason why our police force should be weakened by the ongoing supervision of all these properties that are being vacant and abandoned, allowing for criminals to use for drug distribution and for prostitution, and sometimes even rape. As your candidate for mayor of the city of Chicago, I will sign an executive order demanding that the systems be put in place so that we can lessen the amount of foreclosures in the city of Chicago, especially for those people that are willing and are able to work out a loan modification.